I mean, I feel like the pits and the dark pits have been proving, especially the Japanese ones, that like the character definitely probably a little bit better than most people think. But it's not like Chag's here to prove that. He just hit us all. So here we go with game number 1 against Beast Mode.
Here to maybe earn a little bit extra payout in this side bracket, but he gets up tilted by Steve, and that's a free 48% on him. He's going to look to build up that damage deficit back, though, thanks to the rapid jab getting him inked up and adding to that damage multiplier. But now he's forced to play defensively around this Steve because Inkling, she's not all that heavy, so especially with iron tools, he'll blow up if BeastModePaul finds the right hit.
And I think that's one of the funniest things too. Like taking 48 from Steve off an interaction is sometimes like, okay, that's not that bad. You know, like you can take that a lot further.
It's the heavy tax on certain characters, but not just on heavies. But you kind of just have to hold that L a lot of the time in these matches. And Chag barely avoiding the startup of the up smash with the back air.
Hey, throwing a splat bomb. It goes across the platform, though. But despite that, I mean, Beast Mode hanging on here. Nice little swing of the back air to go ahead and stop that minecart. Another one trying to set up for the final blow here. Maybe an edge guard.
Missed spaces that just a little bit. He wanted the anvil to go off stage and catch Chag during the up B, but instead Chag's able to get back up on stage and regain control of the center as well. Good position for him to find himself in, but BeastModePaul actually going to miss the up smash. Inkling a little bit too short for the back hit to scoop her up, and the up smash in response is going to close out the stock. So Chag finds himself a lead as the hero now makes its appearance.
Oh man, now we're getting to see some of the tried and true Inkling ledge trapping. Now granted, did get caught on the way out on that last one, so that did allow Beast Mode to get off stage for a second, and that's a nice little aggressive option as well to go ahead and give yourself some stage control. But despite that, the moment he gets back on stage, Chag immediately pushes him into the corner.
And that's the big thing about this matchup. Inkling's so fast, able to just rush down and corner hero, but BeastModePaul finally finds that hit and forces out the Palu. So now we have the battle of the mains, but this main is significantly stronger than usual with the double buff lighting up like it's Christmas right now, Flambeau.
Yeah, actually, though, that's exactly what it looks like. So the Accelerato does run out, and so does the Psych Up. So now we have just the tried and true vanilla Beast Mode. We're going to see if he's able to do anything with this hero. Finally gets the first hit. Nice little follow-up on the platform. Missed tech from Chag. And actually a good little aggressive state here, getting 54% unanswered. I like what I'm seeing from Beast Mode.
I like that Chag is fully aware of Beast Mode's menuing, though. Like, he saw the double buff come out. He saw, like, the Sizz as well. And then, like, Beast Mode didn't even pull the trigger on the Sizz, but Chag was already jumping to find that positioning away from it. So he's definitely paying, like, close attention. Doesn't want to get hit by the hard-hitting stuff. But Beast Mode, off of these straight hits, is finding so much. Catches the roll-in with up tilt, and it's just barely not enough to do it.
Yeah, the reactions are good. The spacing good on that back air as well. You can see Chag is trying to slow things down a little bit. Doesn't want to rush in unnecessarily. And we'll see if it pans out. I feel like Beast Mode's done more than enough work here with this hero, right? Managed to bring the game back. Might even be able to snatch a lead here if he's able to find a quick one.
If Chag loses this stock here and has to go into Dark Pit, any amount of extra credit that BeastModePaul finds against that Dark Pit is just helping his Sephiroth find the positioning to close out that game. But it's not to be, as Chag finds the grab back throw to close it out and forces BMP onto his final character of this game.
Nice.
Ooh, but BeastModePaul fires back too with a little flair of his own.
Yeah, Chag had to pick an option a little bit earlier there because, of course, the more damage you have, the less vulnerability you're going to have hanging on the ledge. And, of course, Sephiroth throwing a big explosion at you is going to be active for quite a little bit.
Yeah, especially with the long-reaching effects of that Mega Flare. But this Dark Pit, not really much of a slouch either. He's kind of just playing this character like Palu, right? Using the Nair to approach, and I don't see anything wrong with that.
Go ahead, use that electroshock arm to get back onto the stage. An aggressive nair as well. Catches him trying to roll onto the stage, or maybe it was a neutral get up. Octo slash, re-grab the ledge. Here comes the wing. And man, Chag's so good at ledge trapping. It's so hard to get out of here.
I can speak from experience there. There have been games I've played against him where I just spend the entire time on the ledge, and Beast Mode getting a little bit of a taste of that himself as Chag hard reads the roll get up with the up smash. Closes out game number 1 in his own victory. Now I'm wondering if we might see a couple rosters changes from BeastModePaul, because I think, personally, that's my favorite part of Squad Strike, is like in between games, seeing people's like considerations, what they put in, like, oh, I'm going to bring out X to counter Y, but Z to counter A, etc., etc. We're not going to see any of that this time around, though, as both of them stick to the same roster, if not the same order. We'll have to see if Steve is the starter, and indeed it is.
Okay.
Same, run it right back.
All Right, and you know what? I think that's perfectly fine. At the end, it really was a skill matchup. Kind of when it came down to the last characters, it was like, I'm being ledge trapped and I can't get out, right? And like, no character swap is going to make that significantly easier for you, you know? So you're gonna have to figure out your way out of that situation a little bit better. But hopping right into this quick to 48 again, that's exactly what we saw at the beginning of the last game. And it looks like Beast Mode Paul is trying to keep the momentum flowing.
Even down to the percents as well. He opened with 48% on Chag's Inkling the first game around. This time, though, I'm sure he's going to look to take the Inkling out with much less wear and tear on the Steve. That way he can at least get a little bit done against the Palutena. And he's well off to a good start right now. Oh, if he had read the air dodge in, he would have been able to get a huge punish, but it's not to be. And now it's Chag's turn for a little bit.
Yeah, even if you had just picked anything other than grab, decided to wait a little bit, would have been able to react, but just a little bit too much of commitment on that. But despite that, gonna go ahead and still try to fish for the stock. But at this point, he's taking a little bit more damage than he's probably wanted to, but that's okay.
The diamond comes out too. BeastModePaul doesn't really have to think about that resource management for later stocks because he's only got one Steve stock. So bringing out the diamond as soon as he possibly can. Looking to get this stock now. One hit should do it. He tries to catch the jump in with the anvil as well, but Chag's playing avoidance so well, not letting Paul get away with anything he wants to.
And one thing that Paul's going to need to be careful for is we saw in that last game that up smash kind of barely missed, right? Kind of being like, okay, this is the matchup now. I'm going to be a little bit more scared throwing an attack out. So we're going to see how he tries to fish for the KO. Last time he couldn't get it done with the Steve.
Just playing this slow, patient spacing game. Chag doesn't want to go in because he knows if he whiffs, he dies. And speaking of that, BeastModePaul punishes the side B with the up smash. It's almost like I'm clairvoyant there. I'm like, you can't make that mistake. And immediately, but Chag is able to catch the minecart with the up air to bring us back to nearly even.
Okay, now we have the hero back. And last time, I mean, BeastModePaul kind of played the matchup in a way that made it almost look even. I love the aggression there from Chag saying, hey, I know I took your double jump, want to go for the spike, but could not catch the air dodge in.
Right, it feels like, oh my goodness, he's not going to be able to make that back. And it's like you were saying, Flambeau, the way BeastModePaul is playing this matchup, he's just going, whiff, please, make a mistake against me, because while I might not be doing as well in neutral as you give me one opportunity and I will murder you for it.
And I love the fact that he decided to recover high there. He could feel Chag sharpening, but Chag was still able to go ahead and follow up, get him back off stage. At this point, though, Beast Mode has made it back on the stage, and the bounce is going to keep those arrows at bay for the meantime.
And the fact that he took out Chag's Palu so quickly, too, means that Chag, even if he lost the stock first, isn't able to get nearly as much damage with those high-value combos that he likes so much. The arrows doing their job, though, in lieu of the Palutena.
Hey, yeah, throw out that lightning. Go ahead and keep Chag at bay here. At this point, Beast Mode's looking pretty good to go ahead and take this game. We'll see if Chag can bring it back, but Beast Mode has been doing, as you said, such a good job with baiting and punishing Chag, and I don't know if Chag's going to be able to answer back.
The big thing, though, is that if he does manage to take this hero out, we saw how quickly he dismantled the Sephiroth last game with the Dark Pit. So if Paul finds himself in that situation once more, Chag very much could clutch this. He's got to get the first step done, and he might not be able to do that. Oh, he just doesn't mash. He uses the armor on the ice to not take any of the knockback from that.
Yeah, because at this point, it's like he already has so much damage racked up. He's going to need to play near perfect there. And here we're going to get a throw, send him off stage. And we've seen the ledge trapping. The arrows have been on point as well. Potential Edgar?
Ooh.
No, footstool.
Footstool. All right, but it's not going to follow up into anything. He was definitely looking for the back air to stage spike there. Back throw should be the stock here. No.
Why?
Great DI from Paul.
Okay, and just zooms right to the side platform. The dash attack will finally have enough juice. But at this point, he's at 155. Like, one stray hit from Sep should be able to do it.
And Sephiroth, one of the characters that benefits a lot from stray hit kill power, very nearly getting caught by the Rising Octa Slash as well. And instead, it's just that very, very tipper hit of the falling up air that does it. Great stuff to Paul, just completely shutting down Chag's roster throughout that game. It took a little bit longer to take out the Dark Pit than I think Paul might have liked, but the fact that he took Palu down so quickly was just, he was just riding the coattails of that.
Yeah, no, honestly, that spike kind of sealed the deal, I feel like, for that game, too. Just got it really early on Palu. That's why I love watching the hero play, right? Like, his hero is so good. It's so good. And at this point, I mean, we're seeing, once again, same roster on both sides. It's a skill thing. It's a skill thing. I don't think that. Yeah, you can play the character counter picks, but it's skill.
And this is something that I'm gonna bring in not nerd stuff and talk about rock climbing. My coach in rock climbing says one thing to me that I actually love to bring into Smash. And whenever I mess up a climb and I fall, he goes, "Do you want to do it different or do you want to do it better?" Because those are your two options when you fail something. You can either improve the game plan that you already have, execute it better, and maybe win that way, or you can change up the game plan, change up your approach, and do something completely different.
And I think we're going to do it better, right?
And that's what they're looking to do.
Both sides have decided, you know what? We're not changing the plan up. We're just going to execute the plan better. And we're going to see what the efficiency looks like. Because at this point, we're already seeing a lot more auto reticle than we had seen before. But also, he started with Inkling before, right? Yeah.
First two games were both Inkling starters. This time, he's bringing out the Palu to open it up. And I think it's very clear why. Chag looks comfortable in this matchup. He's just like, all right, this is your corner. You're staying here. I'm not letting you out.
Yeah, I think definitely, you go ahead and switch up the order a little bit. Definitely helps, especially against matchups like Steve, where I can only imagine that Chag has practiced it the most with Palu, so it just makes sense.
The tried and true, but Paul's still finding purchase in this matchup on occasion. Getting that 53% off could be huge once the hero bears its fangs, because we saw how quickly Paul was able to evaporate a stock. So Chag just has to close it out now. Every second that this Steve is alive is a bigger threat to his strongest character.
Yeah, definitely. Chag is no stranger to slowing it down and just kind of playing that game patiently. But against a character like Steve, you are going to have to go in at some point. And just like that, the opportunity will come to you. A nicely spaced dash attack from Chag. He's going to go ahead and secure that one. And now, I want to see if the hero can do it again.
Snooze comes out. That could have been disastrous, and so could that, but the thwack. Chag continues his lucky streak in surviving through all that. BeastModePaul, look at that. Look at the player cam. He's SDIing like his life depends on it to get out of these up airs. Just let me out.
Flicking that stick. Ooh.
And that's why Paul wanted to get out so bad, because he knew he'd have the ability to reversal immediately after.
Yeah, and he didn't take that much damage, all things considered. Getting brought to 45 by Palu was just like, okay, I got hit by an air. Whatever, I can still play from here. But can he maneuver around the Inkling? Nice.
With bounce out, it did take out a significant amount of Chag's options. The stage spike, he's too low percent for it to matter, even though he doesn't tech. But Psych Up is out, and Paul's using every trick in the book. He wants this Inkling gone. Get him out of here.
Oh, my goodness. My man Paul is reading right now. Menu after menu. What we got today? Give me something new. There we go. Throws out another fireball. Almost gets caught by the slap bomb there, but does a nicely timed neutral getup to go ahead and avoid that.
Sizzle comes through. I'm surprised that didn't hit. Chag got his shield up in time, though. Going deep underneath the stage, but all that does is give Paul the opportunity to fish for another one of those buffs. Out it comes, and down goes the Inkling. That's been one thing that he's been phenomenal on. He doesn't chase off stage. He doesn't look for those edge guard. He just stays on stage, nice and confident, going like, all right, take your time recovering. I'm going to get my buffs. That's fine.
Oh, and we psyched. Hold on. This is looking pretty bad for Chag all of a sudden, as this hero is just doing so much. He's just waiting in center stage. He's like, you have to approach me. I have the lead, so please come whiff or space poorly on my shield so I can punish you.
I have the whiff. I have the buffs. And bye-bye. We'll be seeing you, but in the next game.
Oh, man. Wow.
Shout out to Beast Mode Dad in the crowd, too. He just popped off for that.
That was lit.